Hello and welcome to episode 4. In this episode, we are looking at communication and social interaction from 12 to 18 months. Okay, so 12 to 18 months, social behaviour and play. By now, the toddler, no longer an infant, will be taking things to their mouth less often. There will be a minimal amount of dribbling, unless, of course, they are mouthing an object or eating. So in between play and activities, you won't see the dribbling happening as you would have previously. They will put objects in and out of cups or boxes once this play has been modelled to them. They like to be in sight of familiar people, and they demonstrate affection towards these familiar people. They will play peekaboo, or they'll say goodbye, both in response to the request from an adult or the prompt from an adult, but also spontaneously. They will initiate these activities. They enjoy joint play. They will be able to share an object with another person in play, and they are able to switch their attention between the object or the play activity and the person that is engaged in that play with them. We refer to this as coordinated joint play. The toddler will manipulate toys, shake them to see what will happen. They listen with pleasure to sound-making toys, and they repeat this appropriate activity. So they know that if they press this button, it's going to keep on making that sound, and they'll keep doing that. They will give the toy to the adult when requested and sometimes spontaneously. They begin to demonstrate an understanding of the use of objects, such as a phone or a hairbrush or a toothbrush. Now they are quickly able to find toys that have been hidden from view. So yes, they're definitely able to tidy up because they know where objects go, and they are able to retrieve objects from wherever they're stored because they know that that's where they are. Okay, so under social behavior, 12 to 18 months, the toddler will manipulate toys and will shake to make a noise. They listen with pleasure to sound-making toys and repeat that appropriate activity to create the sound. So, for example, pressing buttons on sound-making toys to create the sound. They will give the toys to adults on request, but also spontaneously. Toddlers will demonstrate their understanding of the use of toys, such as a hairbrush or a toothbrush or a toy cup, by using those things in the way that they should be used. And now they are able to quickly find objects that are hidden from view. At 12 to 18 months, a child will push a large wheeled object around. So they like to push around either buggies or wheelbarrows. Toddlers will explore the possibilities of toys. So household objects, they will enjoy using using spoons, wooden spoons, metal spoons, exploring their sounds and their other functions, such as drumsticks. The toddler will also engage in functional play. So if you give them a car, they'll run a car back and forth. If you give them a hammer, they'll hammer anything that's in sight. If you give them an empty cup, they will pretend to drink. Toddlers will carry dolls by their arm or by their leg, possibly even by their hair or by their clothing. Toddlers repeatedly cast objects to the floor, either in play or to reject that item. They're finished with it. And they will watch where things fall. Toddlers enjoy give and take games. So they will give you something, wait for you to give it back to them. They might offer an object to you and then withdraw it because they're not quite ready to release into your hand. Physically, toddlers are restless, explorative, on the move. And at this point, they are definitely pointing to an object looking back at the adult to make sure that they're also looking in the same direction and sharing that attention with them. At 12 to 18 months, a toddler will have very quickly changing moods and emotions. Sometimes the emotions are exaggerated and they are closely dependent on the adult's reassurance. Toddlers will look to the caregiver to monitor their emotions so that they know how to react to situations. In familiar situations, they will check and be more comfortable. In unfamiliar situations, they will step closer to the adult and closely monitor their reaction. The toddler is affectionate with familiar people. Okay, so exploring speech, language, and communication. The 12 to 18-month-old toddler babbles loudly, incessantly, with jargon. You will hear lots of vocalization with open vowels and consonants. And by their behavior, you will be able to see that they are understanding words in their context, such as coat, shoes, cup, plate, car, cat. They understand simple instructions. Give it to daddy. Come to mummy. They frequently respond to familiar songs by vocalizing. They will imitate the adult's familiar, repetitive vocalizations. For example, uh-oh, and may use a few words, although inconsistently. Or they may use the words quite regularly, but with inconsistent pronunciations. So very familiar family members may understand, but others may not. The 12 to 18-month-old child will follow the point and the gaze of an adult. Nearing the 18-month stage, the toddler will be able to say a few recognizable words, usually a range of between 2 and 6, spontaneously and in correct context. They appear to understand some new words every week, and they will be able to sustain their interest for 2 to 3 minutes or more, sharing a book with an adult. They understand and obey simple, familiar instructions, such as don't touch, come here, come for dinner, give me the ball. They are able to point to familiar adults as requested. Where is mummy? They are able to communicate their needs by pointing, vocalizing, and screaming. Typically, between 12 to 18 months, the toddler's personality is well established. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the differences and the impact that those differences have. The toddler may babble mama or dada just once. Some words will be heard very inconsistently, perhaps every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. There is no intentional gesture used to communicate their needs, i.e. pointing. Eye gaze is not used to either gain or maintain the adult's attention because of the social understanding that the toddler has. Family members are able to engage in funny conversations. When the toddler doesn't engage, both immediate and extended family members begin to notice and to comment on the differences. Adults naturally stop trying to communicate with toddlers, as any attempts can prompt upset, distress, screaming, crying, or just disconnection and avoidance. You don't need to wait for them to get older for you to have to prove these developmental differences. These services are there to support you in recognizing whether or not there are developmental differences. So you would be able to tap into portage home visiting or another kind of home visiting service, an early years service. You would also be able to tap into speech and language therapy, and you will be able to tap into clinical psychology and some kind of parental support programs such as Solihull. I hope that this episode has been helpful to you. The next time we will be looking at social communication and interaction, the impacts when it's different for the ages 18 to 30 months. Okay, until then.